come out of a workshop in terms of risk in Africa, okay? And obviously, you know that we've won the rights for Burger King, which is the rights for the whole sub-Saharan Africa, so I'm obliged to go into Africa. Now, the question was, don't you think it's a bit risky going into Africa? Obviously, it's risky going into Africa like it is going into every new domain for business. And it's about how you mitigate those risks, you know. We will go into Africa slowly. We're looking at going into Angola very quickly and into Mozambique. So we're going to go into the SADC countries first and then explore the other countries. But the issue is different for me. It's not about selling a burger into those countries. It's about creating other infrastructure that will create jobs. We've just come back from a whole week's Burger King conference in Miami. And the result of that started to tell us that most of those guys in the Middle East and in other African countries, like north of the border, like Cairo and those things, wants to import beef or patties from South Africa or Southern Africa. Now that is a huge opportunity. We've started to build a factory in Cape Town. We now have to treble the size because it looks like we'll be exporting to China, patties to China from South Africa, which means that the protein factory that we have here in South Africa could supply the rest of the world, because the cultivation of beef in Africa is far cheaper or better than anywhere else in the world if we just put the compliance and issues in place. So that to me is much greater. Imagine, you know, we start to go into Africa to create these feedlots in Zambia, in Zimbabwe and all of those areas. How much jobs that would stimulate. Imagine the factories in making these protein products and exporting it to the rest of Africa, rest of Europe, the rest of the world. China, for instance, is such a huge market that Turkey and Australia, they don't want the Australian product because it's too expensive. And our rand exchange rate is so favorable that you don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that. You know, it's exciting in the sense that it's not about just the burger. It's about the ancillary services that drives that burger, and that's why Burger King is such a great product.